A Japanese salaryman is hit by a truck and reincarnated as a baby in a world filled with magic. He is taken in by the wizard Merlin Wolford, who names him Shin and raises him as his grandson. As Shin grows, he is taught magic by Merlin, magical item craftsmanship by Merlin's friend Melida, and swordplay by the warrior Michael. At age 10, Shin successfully slays a demon, so Merlin tells him about finding him in the forest. But Shin already knew this, as he has memories from his previous life. At age 15, Merlin realizes he never taught Shin common sense life skills. He is also hesitant to let Shin enter society, as Shin has been using his previous life's scientific knowledge to invent spells that could turn society upside down. While discussing the issue, Shin learns his uncle Dis, big brother Sieg, and big sister Chris are actually King Diseum of Earlshide, Christina of the Royal Guard, and Siegfried the court magician, all old friends of Merlin. It is decided Shin will attend Earlshide Magic Academy to learn about society and make friends, so they move to a house in the city. While exploring, Shin saves 2 girls from thugs and, having never met girls his own age, is immediately smitten with one of them. The girls, Maria and Sizilien, also hope to join the academy. Sizilien, whom Shin is smitten with, also develops a crush on him. Shin earns the enmity of Kurt, who leaves after being scolded by August, King Diseum's son, Shin's cousin. Shin comes first in the exam and has to give a speech. Kurt is furious to discover he is in a class while Shin made it to the higher S class. Shin makes changes to the protective spells on his academy uniform. Sizilien confides to Shin she has repeatedly rejected Kurt, who is now threatening her. August uses his royal status to force Kurt to leave. Shin invites everyone to his home to ask Merlin and Melida if he can alter Sizilien's uniform to protect her against Kurt. Melida reveals this would make Sizilien's uniform a national treasure level item. Sizilien tries to refuse, proving to Melida she is honest and worthy of the protection. Diseum asks Shin to never reveal he can create national treasure items, or it could lead to inter-kingdom war, though he does ask for uniforms for August, Julius, and Thor. Maria sensibly refuses one. Shin offers to take everyone home using his teleportation spell, which was also supposed to stay secret. Shin starts escorting Sizilien to and from school. Shin decides not to join any clubs, so Augustus suggests he start his own, which the entire class insists on joining. So the ultimate magic study group is formed. Diseum's council discuss the increase in demon sightings, so Diseum orders an investigation. Kurt's father confronts Kurt about his behavior. Kurt snaps and rants about the worthlessness of commoners and his hatred of Shin, so his father withdraws him from the academy. Augustus wonders why Kurt changed so radically, and Thor reveals Kurt's behavior changed after visiting Mr. Strom, a blind teacher who was exiled from another kingdom. Strom visits Kurt and casts a spell on him. Shin accidentally reveals another secret when he tells his friends he killed a demon when he was 10. Shin suddenly senses a demon before Kurt appears and tries to kill them all, having transformed into a demonoid. Shin forces everyone else to run while he faces Kurt, hoping he can destroy the demon magic while sparing Kurt. But when Kurt begins a spell that would destroy the entire academy, Shin is forced to kill him by severing his head. Augustus warns him destroying a demonoid will make him famous and his life very difficult for the foreseeable future. Shin theorizes Kurt was a victim of human experimentation. Diseum presents Shin a medal for destroying Kurt. Merlin is angered Diseum is involving Shin in politics, but accepts it is necessary. Shin's fame means his tutors have to test students wanting to join his study group to keep membership manageable. Diseum explains to his council Shin's theory Kurt was artificial. 2 students manage to join Shin's group, Mark, son of a blacksmith, and Olivia, daughter of a restaurant owner. Shin asks Mark to upgrade his sword to better handle his enchantments. The Security Bureau investigates Strom, who expresses remorse at Kurt's death. The investigators invite him to help by studying Kurt's corpse, but once at the castle, the investigators reveal Kurt's name was never made public. Exposed, Strom destroys part of the castle. Shin engages him in a duel that destroys Strom's mask, revealing he is not blind but has demonoid eyes. Shin casts a heat ray spell so hot it turns the sand floor to glass, leaving Shin unsure if Strom disintegrated or escaped. Diseum's council congratulates him on his victory, and though he tries to explain his heat ray spell, they have no idea what he is talking about. Strom is revealed to have escaped and survived. Melida is concerned Shin and Sizilien are not yet a couple. Shin shares his concern Strom is alive, so August pays Mark's father to design a new sword. The king of Blusphia learns from Zest, his spy, Earlshide is troubled by demons and plan to invade. Shin decides to buy Sizilien a ring, flustering her, until he reveals it is for another defense enchantment. angering his friends at his idiocy. Diseum presents Shin his medal in a public ceremony while also promising Shin will never be used in politics or war. Shin decides to help his friends level up but struggles since casting his spells requires understanding of science his friends don't possess. Strom and his subordinate Miria are shown secretly manipulating Blusvia's king. Shin's friends are inspired when Merlin explains it is possible to learn Shin's spells, showing he can now use Shin's teleportation spell. Shin collects his new sword which features a detachable blade to make replacing it easier if it breaks. August wonders if the design can be used by the military to cut down costs, especially with war against Blusvia approaching. Despite Diseum's promise, Shin decides he will join the war if necessary to protect his family and friends. Earlshide defeats Bluvia's army. Strom kills the king and destroys Blusvia. Passing a message to Diseum's council, he destroyed Blusvia and turned a dozen of its strongest magicians into demonoids under his control. Diseum declares academy students must train alongside students of the Knight Military Institute, upsetting everyone as Knight students are notorious bullies. Shin forms a team with August, Sizilien, Maria and 4 knights, Craze, Miranda, Noon and Kent. Fed up of the knights' attitudes, August orders Shin to let the knights fight demons without them. Shin learns their team advisors are Siegfried and Christina. After finding a boar demon, the knights are swiftly defeated, forcing Shin to save them by severing the boar's head. The knights realize how much they still have to learn and how important support from a magician is. Sizilien heals their wounds, causing the 3 knight boys to develop crushes on her, causing Shin, Maria and Miranda to become jealous. More demons attack, so an annoyed Shin destroys them all with a massive explosion spell. Impressed, Miranda apologizes for being jealous of Shin's abilities, then apologizes to Sizilien for insulting her boyfriend, causing massive embarrassment to both Shin and Sizilien, who insists they are not dating yet. The knights and magicians start learning to fight together, but the other magician, knight teams fail to get along. Shin feels guilty after learning that, having taught some of his spells to his study club, they will be forced to form a special team after graduation, under command of August, and will be supervised by the kingdom for the rest of their lives. However, the entire club is pleased since they view it as recognition of their abilities and a guaranteed career. Days later, August tells them most of Blusvia has been destroyed and even more demonoids have been created from their population. Suspecting Strom is behind it, Shin decides to put the club members through a training camp over summer break, with Sizilien offering use of a hot spring her family owns. Merlin and Melida insist on coming along as chaperones, not trusting boys and girls together without adult supervision. At the resort, even Sizilien's family servants tease her about her future relationship with Shin. Merlin is happy to find Shin has made such excellent male friends. Shin succeeds in making his explosion spell even stronger, earning punishment from Melida for his recklessness. August and Shin visit August's home and find August's fiancée Elizabeth and little sister May, who are both furious August didn't invite them to meet Melida, and now both insist on attending the training camp. Elizabeth admits she has an ulterior motive, to make sure Shin doesn't steal August from her, since Shin is all August talks about. August warns Shin that unless he confesses to Sizilien soon, she may end up with someone else. Later, when Sizilien blurts out a desire to have children with Shin, he realizes August is right and confesses his love to Sizilien, who confesses she loves him too and becomes his girlfriend. Though their first kiss is ruined when they realize all their friends, Merlin, Melida and Sizilien's servants were all spying on them. The next day, Shin insists on training at the beach, using it as an excuse to play magician's volleyball. Late at night, everyone reminisces about their childhoods, but when Melida bursts in to tell them to sleep, they all hide. Shin accidentally leaps into Sizilien's bed to hide, her cries alerting Melida everyone is still awake, so she lectures them mercilessly. Shin informs Sizilien's parents, Cecil and Eileen, they are dating. Cecil is overjoyed, but Eileen warns him Sizilien being a viscount's daughter comes with expectations, so Shin agrees to become Sizilien's fiancé. Merlin invites Elizabeth and May to Shin's training. Elizabeth admits she can't use magic, but May shows potential. Strom's demons attack merchant caravans, disrupting the country's food supplies. Shin invents a spell that allows him to fly, but again no one understands his explanation. Melida and Merlin explain to Sizilien's parents Shin is not their biological grandson, but Cecil and Eileen reassure them they accept Shin for his character, not his bloodline. Shin creates even more national treasure clothing to protect the club members on their next demon hunt. As May feels left out, he creates a magical device to let her talk to them on the hunt, infuriating Melida that he has created yet another society-altering device. Shin lets the club members do the fighting, proving they are now strong enough to kill demons without him. Shin and Sizilien attend a party to announce their engagement. Despite having gone through the formal process of engagement, Shin waits until after the party to privately ask Sizilien to marry him with an engagement ring. Strom completes his destruction of the Empire by demonizing commoners who kill the nobility. With the Empire destroyed, Strom claims he has achieved his goal and no longer needs an army, so he sets the demonoids free. Miria questions his hatred of the Empire, so Strom explains that he was a lord of the Empire, but he disagreed with the Empire keeping slaves and made life for commoners as prosperous as possible. The other lords hated him as most of their workforce moved to live on Strom's lands, reducing their tax profits. So King Harold framed Strom for kidnapping commoners living on his land to sell as slaves. The furious commoners set fire to Strom's home, killing his wife Aria and their unborn son. Fueled by grief, Strom demonized himself and swore to destroy the Blusvia Empire. Now having achieved his goal, Strom becomes aimless. Zest sends his subordinate Lawrence to convince the demonoids to attack Swede Kingdom neighboring Earlshide, hoping to draw Shin into a battle and provide Strom the new goal of destroying Shin. At a ceremony naming August as Diseum's official heir, news reaches them of the attack on Swede. Shin announces he is renaming his club the Ultimate Magicians before they fly to Swede. Shin and the Ultimate Magicians make it to Swede in minutes instead of several days and begin slaughtering the shocked demonoids, while August gives a speech rallying Swede citizens and soldiers. During the battle, the magicians make several discoveries: that all the demonoids are commoners of the destroyed Blusvia Empire, have somehow retained their sanity, and all possess a hatred for the nobility. Sizilien busies herself healing the injured. Lawrence observes Shin in secret and is astounded by his magical abilities, coming to believe he might not have any weaknesses Strom can exploit. August and Maria face the demonoids' leader, Fabro, and eventually defeat him despite him using defensive magic items stolen from Swede soldiers. With over 100 demonoids dead, Lawrence is shocked not only at Shin's power, but also at the power of the Ultimate Magicians. Nearby, Zest wonders if he should reconsider manipulating Strom into fighting Shin, unsure if Strom would survive. Needing to save Lawrence and as many demonoids as possible, Zest asks Miria to intervene. Strom, who knew all along about Zest's plan, decides he might as well go along with it. With Miria as a distraction, Lawrence and the demonoids retreat. Sizilien fails to heal a man's injuries, but Shin invents a multi-step healing spell, saving the man's life and leaving August wondering how powerful Shin is going to become. August requests Swede form an alliance with Earlshide should either kingdom be attacked. August and Shin decide to travel to as many kingdoms as possible to form alliances and make it possible for Shin to teleport to any kingdom being attacked. Diseum is proud August intends to seek alliances with other kingdoms. Merlin and Melida tell Shin to keep August safe on his journey. Elizabeth and May insist on going too, as does every Ultimate Magician. Strom is irritated his subordinates lost to Shin but requests Miria keep him informed if their plan to conceive a baby together has been successful. Zest is unsure if he should be glad or afraid Strom has decided to make defeating Shin his new purpose. Shin and the magicians set off for the next kingdom. Merlin and Melida realize they can fully relax for once, only for the magicians to teleport back, revealing they intend to teleport back every night to save money on renting rooms for 14 people.